Mom, I'm okay. And I had a lot of fun this weekend. I did a two-part trip. I went to Maastricht in the Netherlands, and then I went to Bruges in Belgium. So that was my weekend adventure. So first off, Maastricht. I paid 10 euros to go on a field trip or an excursion with Duke and Bianca up to Maastricht, and I had a lot of fun. We arrived at Maastricht around 9 a.m. We went into the main city, we stopped for a second, and Duke started explaining things. Like, the first thing we saw after we crossed this really awkward bridge, like the bridge itself was awkward, but the steps were like so tiny that I was like walking up and my legs started hurting because there's such tiny little steps we had to go up, and I'm like, why? Is this how the Maastrichtians walk? I don't know. I probably will never know because I'm not going to go up that bridge again. So we get over the bridge and he stopped and he's like, alright, so here's Maastricht and here's the last medieval wall fortress entrance is ever in existence, basically. And a famous person died there that normally people think it's fictional, and then if you say the name of the author, I'll know it, but I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Basically, it's the guy that wrote the Three Musketeers. One of the Three Musketeers died on that wall, and I took a picture of it, of course. So, walked through the entranceway, and we got free coffee break. Now, most of you know, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I don't like coffee that much. I'm a mocha girl, but people don't know about mocha in Europe, and I quickly figured that out during my experience at the coffee shop. So, sit down, we had pie. Pie was fantastic, like it was all made in the city. It was really, really good, so I got the pie, and then he came over for orders, and I'm like, hey, could I have a Coke, please? You know, Coca-Cola, because that's what you do at 9:30 in the morning. He didn't come back for a while, so I thought he forgot my order. So I ordered, someone else walked by, and he said, how are you all doing? I'm like, oh, good, but I haven't been a drink yet. Could I have a mocha, please? I'm like, oh, okay. He walks off. And then the guy comes back with a cappuccino. He's like, cappuccino. I'm like, no, I said a Coke, but I told another guy coffee, mocha. And then they give me a strange look, like, what's a mocha? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll also have a coffee, please. So I got a coffee. It's a good coffee. I actually really like it. I put some sugar in it, black, and they give you like a little cookie. It's fantastic. So that was fun. And then we split up into two groups, and I went with Duke's group, and we visited a church that was beautiful. Like, it was amazing, this church. You're going to see pictures of it all on Facebook when I put it up later today. It was like, you would walk in and you would see like this holy relic of Mary, and she's beautiful, and we walk into this Romanesque church, small windows, dark. It still smelled of incense because we came right after a funeral. So, just gorgeous. And then Duke took us out for ice cream. That was ice cream. That was great. And then we just went off on our own for a bit. I had herring again, and then I tried some chicken wings, and I had ice cream and french fries. I had a lot of things. It was good. All really good. And then we went off, met back up, saw another church, beautiful church. You see those pictures. It's actually a video I'm going to put up too of just this bell tower greening off, and it's just such a pretty, it was beautiful. It was amazing. So that was a lot of fun. And then off to Bruges after that. I only spent only one day in Bruges because we got in around like 11 o'clock at night and we were all tired, and we found our hostel, and you know those dive bars that you just want to be in there for like one drink and then you leave? That was my hostel. I walked through a bar to get into my hostel, walked up one flight of stairs, and we're in my 10-person mixed gender room. That was an experience. I'm not saying it was a good experience, but I'm not saying it was a bad experience. It was just an experience. So if you ever go to Bruges, if you don't mind a dive bar atmosphere that you can hear them going off at all nights of the hour, I just say you should avoid Snuffles. Snuffles Backpack Hostel. But they're moving soon too, so maybe they'll change it after that. I don't know. It was really close to the city center though, and that's why it was really cool because we kept, the next day we kept coming back and getting stuff, and it was really good. But now to the main adventures of Bruges. Bruges is awesome. Very expensive though. I was surprised about how expensive most things was, but it is a touristy town, even though it kind of kept its storybook atmosphere and all that stuff. I read some reviews on Bruges before I went there to kind of prepare myself, and they said that they worked a little too hard to keep the storybook facade going on, and I agree with it, but I also really appreciate it because there were some great photos I took of the canals, of at night. There's like this literally one area that's like full of swans, literally a swan lake. But the black swans are here. Just a really beautiful, beautiful town. We visited 3 museums. We went to the Historium, the Chocolate Museum, and the Fry Museum. I liked the Fry Museum the least because it was just potatoes. Just where do potatoes come from? Is potato an aphrodisiac? Is yada yada yada. And there's no free samples of French fries. I mean, there's a cafe in the bottom which we went to, and it was pretty good fries. I think I like Amsterdam's fries a little bit better, but I mean that was cool. Then we went to the Historium in between, and the Historium I kind of liked. It's a very tourist thing, but it's a really cool experience. You get to the main purpose was see the golden age of Bruges and 7 interactive rooms. You get a headset, you go through a portal back in time, and you follow the story of Jacob, who's a painter's apprentice, and who she falls in love. It just shows you different area of Bruges during the golden age. So that's was really cool, and cool little facts I learned. Great CG, honestly, great animation going on. I don't know who they paid, but they had this one little parrot, and I was like, that just looks like a realistic parrot. It was funny. And then we go to my favorite museum, the Chocolate Museum, of course. One, because it was interesting to see the history of chocolate, a little more than the history of French fries. And they gave out free samples. That's probably the main reason why I liked it. I got to eat 4 things of chocolate, and then I was good with my Belgium chocolate. I checked that off the list because of the Chocolate Museum. I also see a photo series I took. You'll see these on Facebook. It's these weird Lego play with me setups that looks like a child made them. No, those were exhibits in the Chocolate Museum to explain ancient civilization. It's the best thing I've ever seen. I could be a museum curator if all I had to do was that. It's great. And then finally, what happened there's 2 more things happened in Bruges after that. I had mussels, and I had Belgian chocolate. I mean, waffles. I had a Belgian, and both were so good. The mussels, you saw the picture of mussels in white wine, 19 euros, half pot, perfect. They're really good. I mean, there's only one kind of half-open mussel, but all mussels were cooked thoroughly in celery, salt, I think it was not rosemary, I don't know what it was, but it was so good. I'm so happy I went there. And then the next morning, we were trying to look for Belgian waffles for breakfast. And what we learned is that Belgian waffles are not breakfast food. You have them as an afternoon snack with your beer. As I was saying, I didn't want to travel back drunk. I just got the Belgian waffles. We found this place at 10:30. It just opened up, and we're like, a waffle, please. And it is an experience. The dough is thicker, and there's already sugar in it, so when you ask for a sugar waffle, you don't get powdered sugar over it. No, the sugar is cooked into the waffle, and it is amazing, and I had a life-changing experience with it, and now when I go back home, I can't eat waffles. So that's another thing Europe ruined for me. Beer, waffles, maybe chocolate, who knows? I could come back. I can't eat Hershey's anymore, I know that much. Hershey's is gone. So yeah, who knows what else is going to be ruined for me here. Probably all food ever when I go to Paris in 2 weeks. So, that's about it. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. A lot of you are wondering why I'm recording this today and not on Monday like I kind of been doing. There's a reason. And I know you're thinking, I'm lazy, I was tired. No, that is not the reason. There's something that happened to me on Monday that I wanted to talk about. Let me show you. I am registered self-defense seminar. I have a proof of participation. I did that Monday night, and it was fun. Like, you know, we had to learn how to punch, you had to kick, you had to do all these things. The best part was protecting the VIP. So what we had to do, it was like one person, we had to protect a person behind us who had the punching bag, and then one person was attacking us, trying to get to the VIP. So we were kind of like the bouncer deal. Most of it was one-on-one, but the group was just like, it couldn't fit into three groups, so we had 2-on-1. So I was against my 2 friends, and then there was me, and I had to protect this person. So towards the end of it, I pushed the person up against the wall so they couldn't attack behind, and it was one of my friends on this side, one of my friends on that side. So they're like on each side of me, and I'm like, you can't get her! I am protecting her! So one friend comes at me this way, and what I do, she said I threw her. I don't think I threw her. I think I more or less used the momentum and twisted her and guided her into the other person. I did not throw her into my friend. I just used her momentum to push her violently into it. And then later on she said, you got too into it. And then I responded, what do you expect? I'm an aggressive person. Kind of. All my energy is normally going into softball or skating at this time, and I've kind of been doing none of that, so had to get it out somewhere. I apologize profusely after, and they now know don't fight against me. These guns, right? Hey, we're working out. Yeah. Okay, now that is it. That is it. And I will see you next time. Love you, Mom.